So if we're going to talk about issues with the PS5, we first have to talk about the storage. There just isn't enough here with it. Now, it's advertised to have 825 gigabytes of storage with the system, but it only has about 667 gigabytes available to use. And when you start downloading PS5 games, and as massive as they are, you really quickly run out of storage. And you can be downloading PS4 games as well too, and that takes up a lot of storage space. You really run out of this quickly. Now, you can move those PS4 games over to external storage as long as it's working properly. Well documented on this channel. Check my videos out about the issues and problems with that. It has been resolved, but just be aware of those things. But you can quickly run out of storage here, and they haven't opened up the ability to expand the storage just yet in the system. You can expand internal storage when that's available over the summertime, and you can get more out of that. But the problem with that is that's going to be pretty expensive considering how expensive those Gen 4 PCIe SSDs are going to cost. So it's just, it would have been better off if they'd have given us at least 1 terabyte that's usable or 1.2 terabytes usable to begin with, and then allow us to expand if we want to later on down the line. But right now, quite frankly, the storage is going to be one of the bigger issues. That goes along with another sort of issue, which is you can't save backups via USB right now. You only get that option to back up to the cloud as long as you have a PSN account, PSN Plus account, which is kind of weird, honestly, because in the PS4 you could back up your saved data, but right now you can't do that. Sony, you need to fix that one pretty quickly and let people that may not want to sign up for the service, allow them to back up offline if they choose to do so. That's easily fixable, and I think they should be getting that up real soon. Another easily fixable thing is there's no 1440p support, and considering there are probably a lot of gamers out there that may not be gaming on a TV, but maybe gaming on a monitor or a widescreen monitor or something like that, that want the ability to game in 1440p is very vital. And I'm not sure why Sony doesn't have this on the PS5, but yet the Xbox Series X and S do have this feature. That's something I think can easily be fixed again, and there's just a firmware update, software can change that whole thing. Another thing that they need to fix is the lack of UI customization. You don't have any themes. Themes are such a cool thing to download on the PS4 and be able to set up on your system to be able to customize it to where you want it to be. Right now, all you have is sort of just these little game hubs, and it plays the music and has a look of whatever that game is. I really would like to be able just to customize that, and that just be sort of a hub I can swipe down into if I choose to want to interact with that. And being able to sort of also customize where each shortcut each game is, kind of be able to move those shortcuts around would be really nice. Simple firmware fixes here for just better usability and customization would be really nice here for Sony to kind of deliver out here. And probably the last thing I want to talk about here, the DualSense. This is a pretty cool controller, but let's be real here. There are some issues. People having issues with the analog sticks, with stick drift. I personally have not been having that issue personally myself, but they need to kind of fix that either with firmware, or from what I hear, it could be just physical hardware, and they need to get a warranty system set up for this so people can swap it out as soon as possible. I really think Sony needs to hop on that. Also, the battery life, while it's better than the DualSense 4 controller on the PS4, it's still not great. I would really like them to see about improving this, getting it just a little bit better on that. And I wish they offered a version that allowed you to use AA batteries. I think having an option of being able to use rechargeable and just regular AA batteries would be pretty nice. That's one of the great things about the Series X controller, or the Xbox controller in general. It's why it's the most widely sort of used one by default, because it gives you all those options. As a bonus, I know you're going to put this in the comments, availability. Absolutely. People want to pick the system up and buy it, and they need to get this out there so that people can buy it regularly without all these issues going on. Who knows when that's going to happen, but that's something they also desperately need to fix. Post your comment below. Let me know what you guys think. We've been talking a ton of stuff with the PS5 here lately. One of them recently is the best settings I feel that are for the PS5. You can check out this video here. Plus another one I would recommend here if you're really into Sony PS5 stuff. We have a ton of stuff to talk about on it here on this channel about it. Thanks for watching.